On September 26, 1807, the overseers of the poor indentured 5-year-old John Wing to Ichabod Hatch to be brought up as a laborer and husbandman. The contract was to run until the youngster's 21st birthday in 1823. John, the fifth of 7 children of John and Hannah Wing, found himself living with one of Falmouth's most colorful characters. In 1814, Ichabod notoriously dared the Nimrod's gunners to hit him while he sat at his front door, shaking his fists. After a cannonball splintered the door frame, Ichabod prudently retreated. Hopefully, he had sent 11-year-old John and the rest of his household to safety well before then. Ichabod died in 1816, and it's presumed that his son-in-law, Nathaniel Lewis, became responsible for John for the remainder of his indenture. Freed in 1823, John moved to Fairhaven, probably with his widowed mother. Left behind in Falmouth, his sisters Hannah and Abigail slipped into a pattern of dependency. Between 1825 and 1913, either they or their 3 children by unidentified fathers were constantly living in the poorhouse. At different times, the sisters and their children were described as suffering from hereditary palsy, paralysis, and paresis, a condition linked to syphilis. The names of Hannah, Abigail, and Irene Wing are included, along with a prayer, "May they rest in peace." John, meanwhile, carved out a successful life in New Bedford. He married twice, to Lois Wrightington in 1827 and Susan Morris in 1834, and had 11 children. He supported his family by working as a cord wainer or shoemaker, and later as a mattress maker. Where he achieved his shoemaking skills is unclear, since Ichabod is unlikely to have shared them. In 1879, John applied for a pension based on the Civil War service of his son, John Avery Wing, killed in Virginia in 1864. At age 77, John had lost the strong grip that a shoemaker needed. He also suffered from curvature of the spine and an ulcerated stomach, as attested by Dr. Aaron Cornish the Younger, who, coincidentally, had apprenticed with his uncle, the elder Dr. Cornish, in Falmouth. Thanks to the testimony of Cornish and others who confirmed that he was an honorable and honest man of low means, John received a survivor's pension of $8 per month, retroactive to May 1864. This must have helped considerably to keep him and Susan comfortable for the last 3 years of his life. John died January 2, 1883 in New Bedford, after a long and productive life that rose above its rough beginning. On the 2nd day of April in 1844, Emily Frances Gifford, a young girl not yet 8 years old, was bound out to John L. Webster to serve as his domestic. Emily was living in the poorhouse in Falmouth at the time, along with her mother, Desire Gifford, and 4 siblings. More than once, Emily's family had resorted to the poorhouse. Their latest stay, beginning September 14, 1841, coincided with her father's absence at sea on the whaler Bartholomew Gosnold. To recover some of the costs of the family's support, the overseers garnished the wages earned by Prince Palmer Gifford on that voyage. According to the agreement, Emily was to remain with Webster until her 18th birthday, August 23, 1854. Webster promised to teach, or cause her to be taught, to read, write, and cipher. He was also to offer moral and religious instruction and to see that she earned the art of housewifery. Emily's upkeep, quote, "sufficient food, apparel, and all of the necessaries, both in sickness and in health," unquote, was to be provided by her master. At the end of her indenture, Emily would be given the customary 2 full suits of good clothes, one suitable for the Sabbath and the other for working days. John L. Webster, 1870 to 1890, was the son of John Webster, who in the 1830s ran the Webster House Tavern in Woods Hole, but it's not known whether the younger man took any part in running the inn. John L. worked as a laborer, then as assistant superintendent of lights. For reasons that are unclear, perhaps because John L. moved away to West Roxbury, Emily left the Webster household sometime before the 1850 census and joined the household of farmer Joshua Crowell and his wife, Drusilla. The story ends tragically for Emily, who died before her original binding out would have expired on June 8, 1853. She was just shy of 17. Her siblings had a turbulent passage to adulthood, with at least 2 others also being bound out. When Prince Palmer Gifford objected and tried to regain custody, the overseers ruled that he was not, quote, a suitable person to have the care of his child, unquote. Emily's mother, Desire, died in 1863, a pauper and insane. Despite all these troubles, someone who loved Emily eventually found the means to put a marker on her grave in the Methodist cemetery next to the poorhouse where she had lived. The stone's half-obscured verse speaks of a promise beyond indenture and a bond stronger than death. My youthful form within the silent tomb, but faith and love will climb and there forever bloom.